pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First up tonight, we have a resolution being resolved by the City Council of the City of Kennett, Missouri as follows. Whereas Robert E. Kelch has been an effective and faithful service to the City of Kennett, Missouri as a policeman for 8 years. Whereas Robert E. Kelch has performed his duties incumbent upon his position during his tenure on being a patrolman. We have seen many changes in our city and have always exemplified the highest ideals of public service on behalf of our city. And whereas it's altogether fitting and proper that recognition be given by our community to Robert E. Kelch for his dedicated service to the citizens of the City of Kennett, Missouri. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor, City Council of the City of Kennett, Missouri, that Robert E. Kelch is recognized for exemplary service to the people of Kennett, Missouri. Have a motion.
Motion.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. In the packet, you have the meeting minutes from August 16th.
Motion.
Second.
Motion second. Any corrections, questions? Not all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Committee reports.
I've got two things under public safety. Well, actually, just one thing. I'll let Johnny talk about the grant. We did receive 2 bids on the demolition of 7 properties. One from David Ross Farms for $26,500, and one from Bar Container for $26,700. I will make a motion, we accept the bid for $26,500 and get those properties taken care of. Or on behalf of the Public Safety Committee.
Motion second.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
That's all I have under public safety, I believe.
Street Department.
We met last week. We had an update on the St. Francis Street project, and I promised I wouldn't say very much tonight. We also had an update on the construction within the city, and took a look at the construction on the new building, and continued to work towards completion of that. That's it.
Finance.
In the last meeting, we had some discussion and updated the budget with some changes that needed to be made. In addition to that, there was some other little tweaking that, I didn't get the whole finance committee together, and with Steve going to Greece, and I tried to get in touch with Bill, but
I was going to.
yeah. But anyway, it was a little more that Diane had to do to get it in line. I don't know how many of you have seen the Missouri Municipal League report where our esteemed government has demanding now that we change our overtime or our pay system for people that are considered exempt, which is going to be, by the end of the year, we're going to have to make some adjustments to some salaries, which could be substantial in some cases. We don't have all that worked out just yet, I don't think.
4 people, is that correct?
Yes.
they've all, if they weren't hourly, they were changed to hourly. So we're okay.
Okay, we got fixed, it's just how much more than it costs us.
Oh, the difference is going to be you have to pay overtime. If they work overtime.
Right, okay.
Okay, and
Yeah. Depends on how we manage the overtime.
Two of them are in your department, right?
Yeah. Then the other part of my committee report is the dog pound. We went through some whatever else since the last meeting. We did not get any work done. There was supposedly one gentleman who was gonna donate the time and effort, and he couldn't do it. So anyway, after that delay since last month, I would like to submit, I had given you a bid from Oscar Solis Construction Company to put a cover over the dog pens, the new ones, in the amount of $2,964. And I would like to proceed with that bid approval and make that motion accordingly.
Second.
Okay, second. Okay. Any questions or discussion?
I mean, you need to understand that probably even now it's gonna be more time, because I called him after that last meeting and said, you're gonna have to hold up, we can't move ahead on it. And he'd already, prior to that, he said it would take 2 to 3, maybe even 4 weeks to get all the material they need and where to put it together, so we could be looking at cold weather before we get it again now. But anyway, I will get in touch with him tomorrow, if it is approved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Please.
That's all.
Any comments?
I just want to talk briefly about all of our tourism events that are happening this month. I think everybody's aware that September is the busiest month as far as activities go across town. With 2 events this weekend, the RC Airplane 3D Bash, the Fall into Arts Festival, and at the end of the month, the Delta Fair. So I know a lot of you will be busy with that, and a lot of people in the community will as well. So a big part of what I do with our chamber contract with you guys is promote marketing and tourism with the city. And part of that I try to do is try to get our name into publications across the state and across the country. So we've been successful. We got some good nods in our tourism magazines for the state. We got the feature story in Missouri ad for our state events this month with the 3D Bash Airplane event. So that's happening out on County Road 508 near the Humane Department. And this ad, it's a big picture, a nice nod to Kennett. That has got us a lot of phone calls. People all over didn't know that this was happening, wanted to know about it. So we'll have a lot of people in town for this. We also got mentioned in Missouri Life magazine for our other events for Fall into Arts Festival and the Delta Fair. Show Me Missouri magazine, our other state tourism magazine. So they also gave us recognition for our 3 events, and you can find that in the southeast portion. And then we also have an advertisement to promote waterfowl tourism, because before you know it, it'll be time. So I think I shared with some of you, we have made some new graphics for waterfowl tourism with our folders that we use for welcome packets, and so we've used that for our tourism ads for the fall too. We've also received some mentions online through some travel blogs, and I shared some of those on Facebook and on the website, and Diane was contacted by one. Vacationsmadeeasy.com featured Kennett as one of the 50 must go-to places in the fall for our Fall into Arts Festival. We made that list last year, and it was a repeat this year. And also blog.visitmo.com specifically featured the 3D Bash Airplane event and the Delta Fair. So we've got lots of good publicity this month and lots of people coming to town. Any questions for me?
Sounds great.
Okay, we'll have lots of
How's we have many float registers yet?
Not a whole lot. We're probably for the Delta Fair Parade, there's about 30 entries so far. Not a whole lot of floats. So need people to think about putting floats in. That's definitely what makes it a good parade.
Yes.
And we're taking parade entries at the chamber office until the 23rd at noon. That's the exact cutoff at noon. And then we do the lineup and get it ready. And you can find the registration forms online at kennettmo.com and fax them in. That's the best way to get them in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Human resource?
Well, since, I guess I just acquired community chair and human resource, I don't really have anything at this time. I'm sure we're still working on the, handbooks. You know, I did receive the email there just the other day, and we will be scheduling a, HR meeting sometime whenever Noble can be present.
Sure, the handbook will get great dispatch.
Yes. So hopefully next meeting I will have something on that.
Thank you. Departmental Street?
We're busy working. Asphalt people are 3 weeks or more behind. They promised they will get here and get things done. They have actually canceled a couple of contracts that they already had signed because they're not gonna have time with all the weather and everything like that. But I talked to them today and they promised they will get here and get it done.
I'll ask you the loaded question. We're all getting inquiries. As MoDOT is completing the bypass and the roundabout, have they come up with any cleanup plans that you're aware of?
I tried to call a couple of people today and never made contact with them.
They're getting, I know I'm hearing a lot of people getting phone calls and inquiring, and it's growing.
I had to, and I apologize for not making contact today, but I just didn't end up making it.
They've all walked a lot of their equipment.
Most of it's east of town, yeah. They're tearing a concrete plant down and, you know, they're trying to start demobilizing.
So will they come by and bush hog all that, or will, you don't know?
That's what we're trying to find out. Okay. Public safety, all fire?
Got a couple things I'd like to mention. We're continue doing the things that we normally do. Structure fire last Saturday. We're making numerous emergency medical calls. We did have a bona fide life saved the other day. Heart attack victim. Person was down. When we got there, we started CPR. We used our external automatic defibrillator twice. Did get a heartbeat back, and last I heard, the person is living. We are part of the emergency medical system when we go out and act on this. It's not just the guy that does the compressions or hits the button on the defibrillator. It's the EMS system, the doctors, the follow-up cares, all that's part of it. But when we do get something like that, it's rare that you get a life safety. And some years we don't. Some years we may have 4 or 5 that we actually get someone back from being clinically dead. So we're probably hearing a little bit more about that. We'll recognize those people for that effort that they did. Also, just like to take the opportunity in front of the council to remind you of the public safety tax that's coming up on the ballot. We ask for your support and for the support of those that are listening through the recorded media as well. It's something that we desperately need for the city to maintain the services that we have and for us to grow and be an effective part of the future of the city of Kennett. We have to have income coming in so we can carry on. We're the same way as the city. We have to do that. Things are getting more expensive, and without that special tax, it's going to be very difficult for us to maintain what we're currently trying to do for the citizens of Kennett. We have been there for the citizens in the past, and we hope that they'll be there for us now when we need them. Thank you.
Very well put.
Thank you, sir.
David,
Yes, sir.
my comment, I tried to highlight that at our last meeting, and I'll try to do it every meeting under finance. I should have brought it up, but by the nature of our social media buying systems now through eBay or whatever else, we are our sales tax income is way down, and I expect to see it continue to go that way. So the only way we can continue to provide what we need in terms of public safety and protection has to be with some additional taxes. And I'm like you, I want to encourage the public to support us in these endeavors.
We have to have it, we greatly need it. I think the citizens get a big bang for the buck when you look at the people we actually have, fire, police, street, all of us, for the many different hats we have to wear and for the things that we do get accomplished. I mentioned to you that street fire, that fire we had, structure fire Saturday. I had 4 people show up because people are on vacation or out for holiday, or doing stuff with their family. Folks, that's bare bones. I needed probably 12 people there minimum for a working structure fire like that, and we ended up with 4 people. Hopefully part of that we're going to take care of with some hiring of some part-time folks a little later tonight, but it's a drop in the bucket. And so a lot of things have to be addressed to attract people in, but you have to have buildings to put them in, you have to have equipment for them to work with when they get here. And it's all more expensive than it used to be. When I first started on the fire department, about every 7 years we bought a new fire truck, the city did. They would put money back, and after 7 years they could buy that $49,000 fire truck. Well, now that $40,000, wait a minute, there's no such thing as a $49,000 fire truck that still runs. You know, they're up in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. The new ladder truck that we just bought was $750,000. Luckily, we got a 95% grant to take for that. Chief Malott, Director Malott, is working very hard on getting those grants, but they're getting fewer, farther apart, and they're harder to get. We're not going to stop working for those grants to bring those in for the city, but some of those things we're just going to have to pay for ourselves. And I'm part of it. I live here too. Thank you for the opportunity to voice.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Ms. Park?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, Chief Horton, I second his talk on the public safety tax. It is something that we've got to have, something the police department is looking forward to getting out and talking with the people of our town. We support them 100%, and in times of need, they've always been there to support us. We'll be getting around and discussing if they have any questions, comments, or whatever. We'll be glad to explain our point of view and what we're looking for. The city is in the crunch that it's in. We're always out looking for grant, getting more money for us. We've been awarded $23,000 here lately from the Missouri Department of the MoDOT and the Transportation Tax and the Law Enforcement Traffic Safety Advisory Council. This is yearly grants we apply for, and again, the city was awarded over $23,000. This is for DWI enforcement. It's for our checkpoints that we do, and it's also for the speed radar stuff and the speedings we do in the city enforcement. This money comes as an asset to our officers because these are monies the city does not have to pay. They're 100% paid by these grants, and the officers, they can make additional monies for this. And that saves the city money for other stuff that we can do. Also, I'd like to brag on our officers. They've been working hard. We're getting out in the community. We get out of the patrol cars. We get out and talk to the people in our communities. We get out in the neighborhoods. We walk around. If any time people got any questions, please come and stop and talk to us. Let the officers know things that might be going on in their area, in their community. We all have to work together for a safer and safer community. At this time, I just want to say I'm very proud of our guys. They've really been working hard, and we've got some other things coming up that I think the city will be proud of. But if there's any questions from y'all, I'll take those.
Great job on getting that grant too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Also, Captain Stewart, he's been in charge of the traffic safety stuff that we do. And getting grants, you gotta dot all your I's and cross all your T's. It's very hard to get grant stuff, and he puts a lot of hours and a lot of time into doing this. It's been very rewarding. Also, he is now a member of the state traffic safety on the LETSAC. He's a state member now, so he's on the board, so that helps us out in our area. And hopefully we'll be able to get more stuff. Thank you.
Thank you. We've had enough discussion about the handbook. We are still in the process of trying to pull together a game plan to clean out the ditches in town, and soliciting some help money-wise from the county and from the districts that are involved. So hopefully that'll come together pretty quick here now.
I hope something happens. Somebody is trying to work on the one over by my house, got it pushed in, not dug out. So, I don't know who, if anybody is pursuing the person responsible for that. I think there was a state statute about obstructing water flow.
Well, it would be in a drainage district.
It was pushed into the trees and stuff, or been pushed into the ditch.
That was supposedly, people being called back to remove that. It hadn't happened apparently.
It has not, as of today.
I'm trying to follow up.
I was a little bit concerned when I heard weeks ago, or when they were projecting several inches of rain. I mean, they would have very easily backed the water up all the way up to Miss Horton's yard.
They have been notified, Councilman Wheeler. I'll try to follow up on that tomorrow.
Thank you.
Update on the firing range.
Stately, to report, there is no word from the Missouri Department of Conservation yet.
Still shooting blank.
It's better, same story I've given several meetings, so,
I thought you was gonna say Saturday got the report, we're not getting it.
no,
So I'm good with that.
no news is good news at this point.
Exactly.
You know they moved it around the place.
Yes, I do.
Stormwater plan update, we are in the process of putting together a committee to head this up. Had some discussions with CLGW people. There's some computer, web pages, et cetera, type stuff has to be done in compliance this year, and they're ready, willing and able to help with that aspect of it, so this is moving forward. Vector, you have something on Vector?
Usually he comes to the meetings, so.
He's not here. We haven't killed all the mosquitoes.
They have at Roger's house.
We have very few, so I'm
I'm
not.
moving to your ward. I'm moving to your ward.
Come on up.
We're dealing with general sales tax for the public safety. This is going to be a constant, ongoing issue from now to election day in November. What we were saying a while ago, just urge each and every one of you to talk to people, talk it up,